towards the end of the season. But the new season is about to begin as far as these two sides are concerned. Who are you tipping, Jared?
I'm going to start with the GWS, although with not as much confidence as I was 2 weeks ago. Look for Christian Salem to really set them up across half-back, the Demons.
Players pushing each other all over the ground, and we are into it, and Big Max got the tack down. What a start for the Demons, all their important players involved. Jetta takes it off the edge, and there is the man, Bug, who kicks them very wide, and Hogan almost drags it down.
Played the mark, should have got the free kick, and he did.
Advantage paid and taken. Garlic gets it all gone almost. Davis crunched the pack. Here's Matt Jones. Flicked it out. Oh, Garlic. The fumble. And now a chance for Ward to put it back in safe hands. Wilson.
Look at the pressure. This is exactly what the Demons want. They want to be able to defend in their forward half. It means that you don't have to run all the way back and can conserve energy. That is just a magnificent start from Max Gawn. Chain of handballs. GWS under enormous pressure.
Had some love for the umpires from the crowd, but don't see that too often. Scully, all he could do was scramble to kick. Cruel for Shield it was. Salem, flying shot. Watts, couldn't quite. Pedersen, strong at the footy. Tackling good from both sides so far. The will to win the ball, try and get out of it. You can see it on display. Pedersen, they almost fight amongst themselves, the D's. Kent kicks to the goal square, but this time they've got it covered. And still back there.
This is where you've got to really test yourself if you're Melbourne. You've had adrenaline going for the first 90 seconds on the outward flow. When they've got the run, when they've got so much run and gun, you've got to restrict them now.
Barely the 15 metres that kick, but the Demon supporters haven't forgotten. They've got long memories, and Tom Scully continues to get the boos.
He still hasn't produced the numbers that he did in his first year for Melbourne, Tom Scully, but he's more at home now than he has ever been with the Giants. Bangs it up to the wing.
And that's the web-like assertive defence that Duco was talking about.
And Vit's got it into the middle of Jones, and they're off and running again. Bug all over the ball, and they're all over him. There's the pressure to Soccer, not far enough. Arms had to react. Pressure on Jones.
Gee, that was stiff. I reckon that was 15.
It looked like it, didn't it?
Touched on the line.
Okay. Now Jack Watts striding through with purpose. The kick didn't match the early play, and Phil Davis can get it on their terms now. The Giants, they haven't been able to clear their defence yet, and they still haven't. Pedersen with the hunger, just a little bit over the top.
Bit lucky there. This pressure from Melbourne is the best I've seen Melbourne defend and add pressure for years. It's brilliant.
Having said that, in the first 3 minutes of the season, that's what you'd expect them to come out like that.
Marchbank bangs it up along the wing. Mumford got it nice and early on. Gordon put the pressure on Stevie J's first hands are good. Palmer and now Kelly really emerging through the pre-season. Salem tries to track him down. Scully's kept on going all the way to the square. First goal to the Giants.
He came from the wing, the opposite wing.
Well, that's the downside. If you're going to press up and you're going to play a high defensive zone, if it gets through, and it only just got through, you are then opened up. And if the opposition have got lots of run, and we know they haven't got Jeremy Cameron, and they've left Patton out. One of the reasons is I think they want to get lots of these goals. They want to get slingshot-type goals, and they're well attuned at getting a great handball from Stevie J, set it up.
How clever was James Kelly?
Brilliant.
The easy thing to do is get the ball 6 steps, unload the footy. But he saw, Josh Kelly, he saw Scully going down the other side. He knew he had to run the extra 10, 15.
Good contest in the middle again, and Viney comes charging through. Took his time to make sure he made the right decision. Salem has Melbourne going deep again. Hogan from one side. He got out-bustled by Davis. Well played by Phil. Gets it to ground. Shield. Handball. Pressure still there. Mumford was steady enough by time. And good thinking, really, from Kennedy. That's always a dangerous kick, but he was about to be claimed. And well done, Griffin won the genuine one-on-one. And Scully's been prominent early, and so is the noise from the Melbourne fans. They're on the chart. Tomlinson demanding it. Johnson's deep. He's waited. Now he's got to execute the kick. He goes to Johnson. Tough for him there.
Faceball.
Hits the ground. Matt Jones with the clean-up operation. Bertie Vince. And they're out for the moment at least.
Could have done better than that, Tom Scully. Had to hit a target.
His whole forward movement ahead of him, though, Jared.
Jack Watts took on Buntai and came out smiling and then delivering to Pedersen. Does he go to Hogan? He sets it up. He's in position this time. Oh, well done, David. Davis. He's won the early points.
Davis has had 4 wins already against him in the one-on-ones.
He's sure just hammered it out of there.
I need Jesse Hogan to move a bit more and get on the lead.
Tyson, another former Giant, kicks them inside, but it's coming out.
Sloppy kick, didn't look, wasn't under pressure. Early season nerves, early game nerves. But what about the move from Watts on the wing? The crowd lifting. They're desperate for him to reproduce the form that he has done in the NAB Challenge.
Wilson just heaves it up, hoping Tomlinson can compete at least and break even. Garland in front. Made the running.
There was a big Falcon early. Watch this come off the face. Oh, that's going to hurt because they are pumped up rock hard early.
Ward gains the ground and Bug sees it over.
I think that was young Oscar McDonald coming over the top. Yeah, I mean, players kick the ball that hard. They kick a bit of air out of it. But in the early part of a match, they sting like that.
2 minute, vastly different periods in their career. Leon Cameron on the rise. Paul Roos, his swan song begins today. Wouldn't he love to start with a win? Shield had a misfire and it's cleaned up again. Tyson took it from Vince and they're away through Maxi Gorn.
Great decision from Tyson.
Hogan covering plenty of territory, coming up the ground.
Demons yet to score, but they feel like they're well on top.
They've got plenty of the footy. They just haven't been quite as quick as that one time where the Giants went forward. A little bit slower the way they're bringing it forward, and that's giving Phil Davis a real chance to clamp on the #1 target.
It's a good kick. This bloke needs to be locked down, and he is the one that's linking defence to attack for the Giants.
6 disposals for Scully, and Johnson was lurking. McDonald though comes out with a footy, and Hogan's come up even further this time. Went for the underground for Bug. Central ball, flirting with danger, found his own teammate on the chest, and that's Palmer. Johnson got in behind the defence, but he waited, and it was a smart decision because there was always going to be an easier shot, and that man Smith got into the right spot.
Well, if you thought Stevie J is going to call hard for it and not give it off, Dev Smith's from the same school. He has a good set of blinkers. But I tell you one thing that's going for him, he is a beautiful finisher with the footy. Got some real pace too, Jared. I reckon as he progresses into his career, he'll find more time in the midfield because he's got raw energy and pace.
Yeah, he should be looking as an all-Australian. Going to torpedo, which is interesting.
That's his hole for a drop home.
And from 40 metres out, Devon Smith has put that through. So the Giants converting.
It looks like a torp hole, doesn't it? But that's...
Certainly got it well camouflaged, but the result superb. I think he is the emerging young small forward in the game. There's plenty of them, but as they become better, I think he's going to become better. Nice kick from Reece Palmer. He continues to develop as a player. Saw the option to Stevie J, and it would have been enticing to kick it to Stevie J as a senior player, but he made the right decision and got it to Devon Smith. Good rebound goal again from the Giants.
Well, the addition of Johnson, not just give them more goal avenues, but it really will help a player like Devon Smith as well, you'd think, Jared.
Absolutely. They're both very similar players in some respects. He's a harder runner, Devon Smith, but he will take some attention, Stevie J.
And there's Oliver. Listen to the Melbourne fans in raptures. We saw the kid during the NAB Challenge, and there's another great bit of work by Davis. Hasn't he been sensational so far, Phil Davis?
I thought he was a bit lucky there. Looked like a genuine push out to me, but he got the free kick himself.
Got him on the shoulder. Enough of a little bit of a sideways.
I would have blown the whistle.
Yeah.
Reece Palmer, who's been
So short.
a very solid contributor for the Giants.
Gone inside 53 times, the Giants. They've already kicked 2 goals. Melbourne, they've gone inside forward 50 on 5 occasions and yet to score. So they're doing a lot right, Melbourne. They just can't get it done inside their forward half.
And that's the work of Davis. He's defended so well against the primary target.
It's all a bit rushed, but they get it in there. And Tomlinson's in the right spot to kick their third. And well done. Work it through from behind. The Melbourne defence needed to be on guard there, and they were.
This bloke's been setting them up for defence all pre-season. Did a bit last year. And he has settled into the primary kicker architect for the Demons.
Salem goes to half-back. Free kick against Mumford here. It's going to be a pivotal battle, boys.
They're so dangerous around the ground is Max. So too is the big mummy. But Max is he's taken his fitness to a very high level this year.
Viney continues to improve as a player, averaged 25 disposals during the NAB Challenge. And that's Oscar McDonald in for his third game. Gave it back to Viney, who might need to return the favour. It's getting tougher, watch out! Welcome to the big time in the MCG, Oscar. Stevie J didn't wrap him up, it was rather the physical approach he took.
That play then, just before this, the kick they had coming forward, they just took too long. They had a 3-on-2 ahead of the footy, and that holding the ball up for 6 or 7 seconds allowed the Giants to match that up and make it a 3-on-3.
Melbourne fans and we had a better view of that. It probably wasn't a handball. The umpire couldn't see it from there, so they get away with one, the Giants. And McDonald and Garland, they're steady enough, and they're on their way. And this is Ben Kennedy coming across from the Pies.
They've still got an extra number ahead of the footy, and they're not releasing it quick enough. That's what they were doing so well in the pre-season. Jones got ahead by himself.
Elite Junior didn't quite replicate that form for Collingwood. Here's Matt Jones at the fought hard to get his place in the side. Frost fends it off, and Jones, and back to Kennedy again, popping it up, hoping that Hogan can have an impact. He came hard from the side. Last man standing was Harms, and now Oliver back out again for Harms. Kennedy has his third kick within a minute. Garlett waits at the back, doesn't get to him, at least not yet. Was that high?
Yeah. You're entitled to put your head down to pick up the ball in the action. And if somebody gets you high, even though you've lowered your height, your intent is on the footy. Bernie Vince went down low to pick up the footy, and that's the correct decision.
And you see that unfold here. But to me, what has been really significant is a couple of handballs.
Didn't really get him.
No.
Didn't get him.
No, he didn't at all. Just threw the head back.
Yeah.
And then Vince to capitalise for Melbourne. Maybe fortunate.
Ooh.
Well, the replay shows very fortunate, but just keep your eye at stoppages when there's a contest and a bit of a scrimmage. The last time that ball went forward, it came on the back of 3 or 4 handballs. The first handball from Melbourne, though, was to the outer circle. Last year they were handballing on the inner circle, 2 or 3 1-metre handballs. This time and today we're seeing them go 5 metres outside, another 5 metres, get the ball out into space where the damage can be done. Got away with one there, the Demons, and a good one to Bernie Vince.
I don't know if Ray will want to look up at the scoreboard and see that one again.
Well, no one from the crowd here is going to worry about it. They're winning the contested possession count, 17-13. So they've earned the opportunity to score that goal, even though they were fortunate. Green, that's high contact on Vince again, and Oliver getting in the thick of it. Jones just waded his way through. Watts is deep, not going to make that far. Phil Davis is in outstanding form so far. Takes the mark. 25 years of age now, should be in the prime of his career.
So what they're trying to do now, you saw Pedersen was on Phil Davis then. They've taken Hogan to the bench. That's a slap to the back of the head, accidental by Rummy, of course. They've taken Hogan to the bench, and they'll try and swing him back on and make sure that Davis has his hands full and give Hogan 1 or 2 minutes deep in the goal area without Davis next to him.
You heard the call, so it's no mark here. But time of the rapid handball. Green, Shaw, who doesn't often miss targets by foot. He missed the last one, but he got that one okay. Now Whitfield was committed to moving, and good positioning by Ward allows, and this is that run, the carry that we saw in the NAB Challenge, and the clever ball used into Stewart, the instant give. Griffin an initial fumble, but lob. They've got out the back again. Can the big man sort this one through? He decides to wait, and now has to go back and have the shot for goal.
Probably had kept running, he would have been able to draw the final Demon defender and got the Chinese checker over the top handball to Reece Palmer. But he's been a pretty good kick. That was magnificent ball movement. Good control around the boundary by Hands.
Well, the fact that it was Griffin who called for it to receive it in a bit of traffic, the teammate feels confident he's got a step on him. He can get this out of congestion. 9
games last year, 11 in total. Still a young man, but has impressed through the NAB Challenge. Unfortunately, misses there to the right.
And he's probably the reason why Jonathan Patton is not in the side. Patton played early in the NAB Challenge, but wasn't able to maintain.
Yeah, Jonathan played today in the NEFL and apparently kicked 5 goals in a half and then got rested for the second. So that would suggest that they're looking at him for next week.
That last bit of play, boys, where he had a shot on goal is pretty important because the Melbourne forwards aren't defending. They're not coming up and pressuring enough, so that's drawing midfielders out of that space. That's why GWS are running the ball so quick and getting those deep shots on goal. So the Melbourne forwards, yes, they're going to hold position and give that midfield space, but when that's turned over defensively, they've got to come up really quick and defend as an 18-man team as they did in NAB Challenge.
Good body work again from Phil Davis.
Clever kick.
Whitfield controlled it.
You see beyond there, they've got players like that was Garland sitting behind the ball. So if they unloaded a 45, 50-metre kick, Garland picks that off pretty easily, like this. He's just floated back the next line. So it's the shorter kicks they probably have to look at to pierce them.
That's a great releasing kick.
It was on the switch. Garland with a little bit of dancing duties first, then finds Kent. Takes it on the wing. Hogan's about 15 metres behind Marchbank, who's playing on him at the moment. So they change the angle instead, trying to go by once. And he lifts himself and takes the mark, and the crowd lift as well. A few have come off the bench on the left. Well, he looked for Viney. He's still on his own 30 metres out from goal. He's not in his sights.
Davis has moved over to Hogan now. Hogan's actually trying to decoy him away to give Pedersen a one-on-one shot at Aiden Core in the square.
Kent goes for the hot spot. Pedersen flew with Core. Viney got involved. Now Garland and Kennedy. Tyson back again to Kennedy. Does he take a chance? It's close.
Oh, that is amazing.
He has taken a brilliant chance. And he's a demon now, Ben Kennedy.
Gee, that's a good finish.
Well, there's no question that Giants thought that he was kicking that
To Hogan.
to Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
And yet, I'm not sure whether he was aiming at the sticks or not, just floated through, but it matters not. Here is Jack Watson. What he's doing at the present time is turning to gold. He was under pressure in the finish. He made the right decision and just kept possession. And there's that finish once again. Good game of footy, Otto.
Very good game of footy, and it's the Giants by just 2 points. Melbourne found it hard to get on the board early, despite having plenty of the play, but that's all changed now. Centre bounce, and Mumford, one of the best all-round ruckmen in the competition, got them going. Griffin and Green take it out to the wing. Tough bounce for Steele to deal with. Front time with Vine, he did well. To Kelly, and they're inside. Lob again with the extra centimetres.
Well,
So
you can
long.
see why it's going to be tough to get a tall forward position in this side. This bloke can be the second ruckman as well, so he looks like he's nailed one. They want to play a free-flowing game of footy. They want to get the tools up the ground and run the ball into free space behind. So he's got an opportunity to kick a goal. It should be his second, but it would be his first, and solidify his spot in the side in round one.
He missed the first shot, as you mentioned, from 25 to 30 out. Needs to make this one count, and he does. Good game of footy.
Well, there's a couple of things missing from this game, and I'm absolutely thrilled about it. Can't see any congestion, Hutto. This is just a hard game. There's lots of contests, but there's very little congestion, and we didn't see any on Thursday night. We haven't seen any at all here. This is AFL football circa 2016, and it's a joy to watch.
"23 years of age, Rory Lobb.
206 centimetres, and he puts the arms up. If you talk about the rule of thumb for basketball, dunking it, he doesn't dunk, he actually places it in.
Well, he has got a strong basketball background. As Mumford contested hard in the middle. Oliver, though, wins it out for Melbourne to gladden those demon hearts some more. A high wide ball. Wilson, one of the improved players for the Giants, had to really fight hard over the time to get his spot in defence.
Always been a wonderful kick of the footy, though. He had that up his sleeve, so once he fixed up some other areas of his game, becomes a regular.
Kelly for Kennedy, just a bit of interference there from Harms.
Good effort to spoil by Holmes. He got some new pictures for the new season as well.
Well, the one area the Giants have got to sort out is the centre clearances. They're getting trounced in there at the present time. 5-1.
Now Shaw, he was desperate for someone to come for him, and in the end he's missed the target again, which, as we said, is unusual. So credit to the Demons, they're running again. Viney took it from Oliver, and now Hogan finds himself within range, surely, from 55. Doesn't go for goal. Goes instead and tries to get it for Frost. It'll work out okay as Harms kicks the goal.
And he's an emerging player, James Harms. He was a rookie only a year or so ago. He got an opportunity last year, and he's been elevated onto the primary list. And there's the turnover, just good pressure. They'd be thrilled with this. Lots of positive things to talk about at quarter time if you're Paul Roos. And then, he just kicked it to the hot spot. It wasn't to the best advantage. You can see there that the Demons are out of position, but a good spoil by Frost. And Harms just did the basic stuff, front and centre. Goal!
It's rare you ever criticise Dylan Shield, but he trailed in Harms 10 metres or so. Probably not his direct opponent at stoppages and the likes, but he trailed him in and could have got a lot closer when that ball was being spoiled, probably waiting for the release handball out.
Gawn again was able to get first hands on the ball. The Giants may be able to break even at least. Force a secondary stoppage.
Well, we've seen Jack Watts playing as a high half forward, but at the moment he's just pushing back. He's the second deepest forward for the Demons.
Well, Tyson was able to get the hands free enough to find a teammate, and they're in again. Frost against Marchbank, and it might be high.
Well, they're right on top in the middle, Dermot, the Demons.
They're actually making real issues for the Giants, because I think the game has swung a little bit, except for the middle of the ground. And that's holding the status quo at the moment.
Shield gained himself a metre or two and maybe expanded his options and dropped.
What an improving player this kid is.
Oh, yeah.
He's marked them forward and now out on the wing as well. Griffin, who played less in the midfield.
Oh, that's Viney, was it? Viney or Vanderberg?
Right into goal-kicking distance.
Yeah.
The umpires have been advantaged this year. They know what 50 is pretty simply by just counting the lines on the ground.
Now, Mumford's in the goal square. Lobb's obviously gone into the ruck. Now, will go into the ruck at this next bounce, you'd think.
We saw quite a few early 50s the other night on Thursday in the season opener, and one already in this game. Well, it cost them a goal. Griffin
hit the instep.
Yeah, just didn't get enough on it. Didn't get the clean contact he would have liked. Here's the 50. So he takes the mark.
Now watch the on the inside. Would have been Viney.
Salem kicks outside. Gawn comes late, still impacted the contest, and gets it over the line and out of bounds. The Giants leading here by 3 points.
Well, Tom Scully's doing a lot of damage. We saw particularly in the first 15 minutes of this quarter. He's up to 8 possessions. He's had a lot of running bounces. He's hitting targets. He's creating goals. On the other side, Viney and Jones are doing really well. And Oliver in his first game, excellent.
Stevie J was just able to release. Kennedy's kick touched. Good awareness though. Viney able to take it away again.
Hack kick, that's good pressure. That's the way all sides want to play now. Pour it in the pressure in the forward half, get the hack kick and rebound it.
Steele couldn't quite mark, and the problem was he was outnumbered, but
bit careless by Bernie there. Just landed on the back of his head trying to make sure that he saw him Steele drag it in, and he wanted to ping him for holding the ball, lay the tackle just a bit eager.
Impressive young man, Jack Steele, in just his 8th AFL game, only a 20-year-old. Come unstuck for the Giants. Oh, interesting call or non-call.
See, that's one I totally disagree with. We umpire on the feel sorry for you rule. He tried to claim the mark, it was long enough.
Yep.
The umpire said no, but we feel sorry for him and don't ping holding the ball.
He certainly had an opportunity to give the first handball.
Harms, he's able to give that first hand. Jones runs straight to Stevie J, who was clever. Stolen off him in the blink of an eye. It's onto his left boot, but drifting.
He did not really have a look around sideways, did he?
No, there was, he had a good goal sense, wasn't that far away. Dylan Shields, that kick, I think it almost should be against the rules, the team rules, that you don't kick the ball less than 15 metres. There's just no value in it. Handball, the bloke knows that he's got to play on. It's not up for debate.
Steele got a finger to it initially and then went harder the second time. It was excellent play, but the Demons might win out in the end. Jones is able to scoop it up, and now they're running. Kent got Harms. Let's see what he can do. The damage on the pass is good for Vandenberg, and Scully could not intervene.
Wasn't that a great example of the new rule? Old days, that goes over the line. These days, he keeps the ball alive, doesn't do it well enough, and an opportunity for the Demons to jump on it and kick a goal.
Great example for Melbourne.
Yeah.
There'll be one coach saying, I like this rule. The other boxer will be saying, why do we have to keep that in?
What an impression he made, Aaron Vandenberg, last year. Mature age recruit, but he did kick 5 goals, 12. So he'd love to put this one straight through the middle, which is exactly what he's done and given Melbourne the lead at the MCG.
Well, they are looking balanced, they're looking cohesive, they are looking really impressive at the present time, and they have improved just so much in the last 4 or 5 weeks. He's out of bounds, he doesn't take it over. Every other year for the last 15, both players would have taken that ball over the line. This is a really good rule and a good interpretation, and Melbourne are the beneficiaries of it that time.
Aaron Vandenberg averaged just under 17 disposals and 5 tackles in his first season of AFL footy, and looks right at home. And if anything, he should be better for all his experience last year. Mumford's crunched a couple and is penalised.
Well, Gil McLaughlin and Mark Evans, they'd be looking up at the scoreboard and saying, how good's this?
Viney gets it inside 50. Pedersen clever to Vandenberg again. Kennedy's already kicked 1 goal. He shares the love and gets it back. Maybe that's a little bit too much. But it ends in a very happy fashion for Garlett.
Well, they're on fire at the present time, the Demons. They've alerted the whole competition that they're going to get better. And you just get the feeling that after a few early match nerves, they're starting to settle much better than the Giants. The ball movement is superb. They're teaming well together. They're hitting bodies, knocking it over. You just saw there picking the ball up, laying it off. And they're just playing instinctive footy now. They're with each other. They're sharing the ball. That's a great goal for Melbourne. And all of a sudden, they're out to an 8-point lead.
What a team goal it was. You can see the team first attitude there. And all of a sudden, the Demons have kicked the last 3 and taken 8-point lead at the MCG. And a terrific opening quarter here. Giants need to respond. Shield off the right boot. He's chipped it pretty wide. And the Demons' defence were playing in front. Sailor.
No good out of the middle at the moment, the Giants. They've won it twice, but that's just giving the ball back. Both times they've won it, they've given it straight back to Melbourne. They're getting a lot of attack just from centre clearances.
Pushing the line there, Aidan Core. Crowd obviously voicing their thoughts that it should have been 50. Pedersen with the mark. He has managed to slow it down, so it's just down the line. Gawn and Mumford and a couple of extra Giants come. They don't kill the contest. Not yet anyway. Viney head over it. It's the only way he knows how. Been outstanding in this first quarter. He's had 9 disposals.
Touch of panic there. Maxi Gawn, the ball went over his head. 3 Giants thinking, I'm the one who's going to kill this mark. 3 Giants flew against him, and they had greater numbers at ground level when the ball hit.
Right now, the Giants need their hard inside midfielders to start equalising Melbourne, because they're getting a lesson at going for the contested ball at the present time.
Mumford and Gawn again. And they both go stumbling to ground. Mumford to Shield. Had to be smart. It was intercepted instead by Vandenberg. They were moving towards goal, but Giants able to intervene and take it back. Shield finds Whitfield. They've been forced very wide. Along this boundary line again. Thumped away from Steele. Garlett gets the plaudits to the Melbourne fans, who are absolutely delighted with what they've seen in this opening quarter, Jared.
Well, you'd be a hard marker not to be absolutely thrilled with this. Sides don't just go 4 wins, 6 wins, 8 wins. There's big jumps occasionally. We saw that with the Giants last year when they went from 6 wins to 11. Should have been 13.
Before, Port Adelaide went from a frugal amount to double figures.
And right now, Melbourne is showing that they're looking for a big jump.
Well, they're under siege right now, the Giants. Siren's going to be the main issue here.
She's going to look hungry.
The last 3 goals of the opening term for Melbourne, and their fans are on their feet at the MCG. In round one last year, they came out and blasted the Gold Coast away. And wouldn't they love to do the same to the other fledgling team in the AFL, the Giants, the emerging Giants. And from what we've seen so far, they're right on track, Melbourne.
They'll lead into this lead here and should expect a lead at half-time. But also, Hogan's still got to come into it for Melbourne.
Bear in mind, the Demons have got a first gamer in their centre clearance team. He's had a good start.
Well, he's had an outstanding start. 4 contested possessions and 6 disposals in all for Oliver. But centre bounce sees it going, at least initially, the Giants' way. But Oliver gets into the thick of it again. Scrambled a handball.
He likes it, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's hungry for it. Couldn't get it clean the first or second, but third time was good. And Jones and now Viney had plenty of it. Hasn't always used it brilliantly, but this is well placed for once. Could have been some interference. Shaw's on guard. He can walk it through.
Yeah, a bit stiff there, Jake Watts. A little bit of scragging, but not enough for the umpire.
Did it well, but he just didn't judge the true drop of the ball. Even without a hold there, he's not making that drop.
Aiden Call.
Good pressure again from Melbourne. Kicking into a contest.
Challenging one-on-one ahead, as you mentioned, for Tomlinson. And Jetta takes that one over.
So, Leon Cameron, what's he saying at quarter time?
I think the back line's actually gone all right. They got them on a couple of quick plays. That running goal by Kennedy, well, the 2 times he was involved in it, Jetta was the other one. Other than that, the back line's held up okay. The forward line doesn't have the best structure. When Giants get the ball, everyone's running away from the midfield carry. You've got to at least break up the opposition and have one player coming at the ball carrier.
Here's Oscar McDonald drifting down, steps inside Stevie J. It's not far enough, but Jones knew it and just bludgeoned his way through. The kick, though, was not as good as the early play, and it's a behind.
Once again, we saw an 8-metre kick. It's just irrelevant. It's high demand football for no reward, and they were lucky there that Jones didn't have a handball receiver to give that ball to.
The other thing that Coach Leon has to do is just get to his midfield, at least give them a break even. He's tapped it on his foot, so it's not a...
But it's an indication, I think, of where their mind is at the present time. They are right under the pump. Pressure-wise, Melbourne are taking it up to them. Hardness around the contest, they're taking it up to them. He needs a real lift, Leon Cameron, for mind form. He's hardball getters like Dylan Shield.
Heath Shaw is an elite ball user, and he's going at 38% kicking efficiency at the moment. Good handling of the ball, but just couldn't get the job completely done. Stewart now Scully as they come in a wave, and this is Kelly gliding through the 50, gets it to lob over the top, and for the first time in Giants colours, Steve Johnson puts it right through. He hammers it home.
Just didn't kill the ball, McDonald, when he went to the contest on the back flank there, Jared. He had a beautiful run at it, a beautiful sit over the top, and he let the ball sort of bobble out of his hands and come back inboard. Watch this here.
Yeah.
Now, he had to put the fist through that, or at least hold it in at the bottom of the pack.
And you can see here, once again, they're one-trick ponies at the moment, counter-punch goals only.
Margin reduced to 4. Stevie J in game number 254 kicked 452 goals for Geelong, and now 1 for the Giants.
Dicko, from your view, any thoughts?
I just think from GWS point of view, they've got to make the ground wide. So Leon Cameron would have made sure that his defence needs to spread quickly when they've got the ball. And if they make themselves wide, the bread and butter of GWS's game plan is to go nice and direct corridor, which we saw in that last goal. So that's what my instructions would be as coach, because if you keep it nice and skinny and in close, they're going to get defended all day.
Well, they're just one handball away from disaster there, the Giants, but they've managed to get it outside 50. Vince trying to win the one-on-one. Takes it out, and again the Melbourne fans are happy with what they see.
Geez, it was a great handball, though. Instead of just bludgeoning a hack kick out and letting it come back over your head, it was a incredibly gifted handball, and it came from Matty Bunteen, I think, as he turns around.
Over the top, Gawn for Viney has been a terrific source of attack and working in tandem with Oliver. Wins the free this time.
Sloppy start. I mean, he was almost falling over by himself. They still gave him a push.
Jones sets that up. Looks good for Watts.
Yeah, Aiden Call got the block there. Just a nice little block away from chasing the lead by Watts, but spotted it very early and just tapped that ball into space.
Well, Melbourne have got a multi-pronged, multi-talented forward line, and at the other end of the ground, they are getting it only the one way.
From this spot, it doesn't look good for Jack Watts. He's previously kicked 5 behinds on either side and only 1 goal through the middle from here.
So he's a 9% chance.
Well,
different player this year.
Yeah, different player. Isn't the new Jack Watts. He steps forward for Melbourne. He pokes at it. And
so next time he'll be
getting closer.
A 7% chance.
History, a good guide, it seems, from there.
Yeah, the ball drop was okay.
Just ran the wrong spot.
Nathan Wilson back with the footy at full back.
They didn't get the goal, but the structure and the setup was superb.
Real good.
They are getting lots of their talented players free. And here's another intercept mark. They are really struggling getting the ball out of their defence at the moment.
He runs on. Hogan was free, but he's not anymore. Kennedy, one of the big flyers, as it hits the ground. Hogan was scrambling hard after it. Ward, Buntine, they're all under stress in defence. It's the rush kick out, which we know that those players pressing up normally devour, but this time it's Smith who does well, frees up Johnson. Just takes a moment, buys some time.
Tomlinson can run if it gets over the back. Hands on the back. Hands on the back. So Jack Watson behind play.
Well, they definitely had a hand on the back.
Yeah.
That's why I think that one in the first quarter should have been paid, but nevertheless, they got away with it there, the Demons.
Jack Watts is in trouble. He's limping at the moment. We'll see him there in the bottom left of screen.
I reckon he got a cork, had it.
Hopefully that's all it is, Dirk.
Yep.
You can fight it out and stay there. In the meantime, Melbourne holding up play with Tyson.
It's all right for you to say I can fight it out and stay there. For us forwards who had skinny legs, we couldn't cop a cork.
I said hopefully he can do it. I wasn't questioning his ability to be able to do it.
It's all right, cork thigh for blokes built like Dunstall and Lockett.
That was a great kick. Their disposal skills at the moment have improved 1,000%, Melbourne.
Hogan's a target.
77% kicking efficiency.
Clever.
Which is extremely high. That wasn't the best handball in the world, though. And Oscar McDonald has been known to have a couple of loose handballs in his short career. Away they come. Wilson to Core. They bundle it up through the middle. And then it can be dynamite once they get into clear space. Smith finds Shield, who's a wonderful left foot kick. That wasn't the best, though, was it? Mate, very tough for Scully. And the Demon defence better watch out. McDonald had to give the handball away. And Whitfield seemed uncertain at first.
Kick around the corner. That is ridiculous. That had to be a handball or a drop punt. Both ways would have got a goal, and he picked the option that guaranteed a point.
He'll be ruling it, but in the meantime, they're out, the Demons. And the crowd could sense it, but they've just been held up.
At all costs, he avoided contact there, and that's what cost him the shot around the corner, straight out goal.
That was a bad turnover for Melbourne.
A couple of errors creeping into both teams here in the last 90 seconds or so. Maybe first signs of fatigue coming in.
Got to start working out a few other ways to kick goals, though. Stewart's got to get into it. Tomlinson's got to get into it.
Tomlinson kicks them inside. It looks like it might be going over and out.
Let's have a look at him. Jack Watts. He's gone high wattage or something before.
High voltage. Hasn't quite got there. First quarter excellent. Unfortunately for that, that's a decork.
Back into action again. Mumford was hoping someone was going to read the tap at the back. Salem was onto it. Jetta in there, and they're onto him.
Do you ever have a cork on a cork?
Nasty, dude.
Oh, God. They are so painful. You just come back from a cork and she's still a bit brittle, and somebody just gives you everything they've got on that same spot.
Gee, Tyson really skied that kick, and it was pretty easy fodder for Aidan Core coming up from defence.
This will be interesting to see the mode they use.
Lobb was the man. The kick just lobbed a bit short of him, but he might kick the goal anyway.
She's a smart play, though. The spike, volleyball spike was excellent.
Yeah, Tomlinson patted it on. Probably if you were choosing out of the 22 players who you wanted to take a snap, Rory might have been 22nd.
Just as an update on Jack Watts down here, boys, you mentioned it as a cork, so it's on the lateral part of his knee. So that could be one or two things. As you know, you can lose your feeling, get a bit of numbness. So they're just waiting it out here at the moment. So no ice, no strapping. He's just going to have a walk up and down.
Crowd appealing for a 50, but Tomlinson was following his opponent.
Got to be within 2 metres of the man you're on, so that's why there was no 50
What about this kid's mark? One-on-one battle against the captain of the opposition, and he's beaten him on centre wing.
He's going all right, isn't he?
Pick 4 for the Murray Bushrangers. Clayton Oliver looks every bit an AFL footballer. From the wing, it's Toby Green as they sweep forward again, well guided. And this time it's Reece Palmer has the way into attack now. They've got 2 extra back here, Melbourne, as part of their defensive structure, so there's no easy path forward. Going to be kicking to an outnumber if they go long. And hence the decision to go via this man, Callum Ward, who tries to hit up Lobb. In fact, I think it was aimed for Whitfield. Lobb sort of got in the road, if anything. Now he's feeling the heat on the big tackle.
Another face ball, I think it was. They're 3 in the first half here.
Interchange numbers, 23 to 24, so they're tracking at the same rate. I thought they'd go a bit, get a few more under the belt early, give everyone a bit of a rest.
Oh, Frost got crunch and dislodged into the path of Callum Ward. Wouldn't the skipper love to dig deep and kick a goal right now? But
just a bit off the Giants. They're not flowing at all. I mean, that is a gimme goal, really.
Maybe in the last few minutes, though, they've
just slowed up the game, slowed up a little bit, but they haven't been really able to.
The main area, though, Jared, that they would want to arrest was the clearances. And in the second quarter now, 6-1 still in favour of the Demons.
There's also been a notable improvement in their kicking efficiency, boys. Last year it was 66%. Today alone 76%. So more confidence and use of the ball.
That's the D's. Cause kick to about to 35 out. Scramble, they get first to the ball there. Smith, terrific hands. Johnson, instinct is to shoot for goal. He trusts his instincts, but he misses.
Well, he's got to trust blokes running past on the left-hand side, because they've all got their hands in the air saying, Jono, quick left-hand handball to me, and that's a goal. You mentioned clearances, 6-1.
In this second quarter.
Yep. Clayton Oliver, first game, has had 3 of the 6.
Good on him. Some blokes just are not overawed by the occasion, are they?
He was a really surprise first rounder. Came from nowhere in the under-18 competition late, and the Demons are onto him.
This is good.
Well, they had the ball locked in their forward half, but that lock has been well and truly broken. Kennedy using his pace to run away. Guides it into goal. Still a long way from home. Pedersen's got out the back deep. That's where he heads. Can he get up and take the mark? No.
She sets a good mark in front.
They'd be 4 goals down without Phil Davis there today.
This is the best I reckon I've ever seen him play. I mean, he was a promising defender for Adelaide. He's had so many injuries since he's been with the Giants. He looks in terrific form as Wilson bangs away.
Lost their structure there. You have to have an overhead marking play come up and give you some form of representation for that long get-out-of-trouble kick.
Really dangerous time now for the Giants.
Yeah.
They are fatiguing big time, and Melbourne can just put a game-winning space on them in the next 5-6 minutes.
Callum Ward to Scully. And through the middle again. Dylan Shield, nothing to kick to at all.
He might go the way here.
Well, he's had 2 bounces and he'll get a third to buy himself some more time, just idling away, letting the motor run. He warms up and then kicks it long. He has to.
He aimed him up. Yeah. No, he aimed up long.
Well, he should have aimed short, because it's the hardest kick is to look inside when everything's telling you to look out the other way on the left-hand side. He had a couple of short options.
I think it was pretty
spent.
Yes.
Well, on that one there, metres gained, he got 120.
Gone. Viney. This is where they
I'll give it off.
Starting to win the ball back a bit.
Come on. Now, this is, if you want to coach these lads, look, even the opposition players are into him now. You've got the blinkers on, mate. If you want to coach these blokes, Stevie, you've got to actually show that team comes first.
Pedersen playing in front, good spoil from Core, but it ends well for the Demons. Viney again helps himself to possession, 15. Important contest, and it falls Melbourne's way for Hogan. Wanted to share, watch out! Davis closed and had the impact he was after. And Marchbank takes the mark.
Out of jail there, the Giants, but good defence, and they've got themselves a 50. You've won the 50, you don't have to give it back.
Downfield, I think, is it?
Ex-Giant, Frosty, will get in there and...
Shaw goes wide for Tomlinson.
Great kick.
Has the path to go. Lob's deep. Gorn getting back there to try and cover him. Lob's still demanding it.
Stewart's got to get into the action. He's got to get a jump at the footy somewhere.
Lob will do it at the moment, Then the next question is, what does he do after that? Can he convert?
He is, like, if we use cricketing terminology, he's an outswinger, the way he kicks the ball. So this is his tough pocket, Rory Lobb.
Averaged over 2 goals a game in the NEFL last year.
It's a good kick by Tomlinson. Because Gawn, as you called it, Hutto, came into the corridor 20 metres out from the face. So Lobb had to lead away and the ball had to be precise.
It's a pretty good strike. Just going to stay the wrong side of the post. They've now kicked 4 goals, 8, as well as the Johnson out on the full. They're back within a point.
Like if you were back in our day, Ger, if somebody came on, like Watts came, is just arriving back on the field, you do the schoolyard bully thing up and go up to him and give him a dead leg. Not allowed these days.
Why am I not surprised that you said that, Dirk? A little bit scrappy there from the Demons. And you talked about the Giants fatiguing, Jared.
Yeah, I think it's both sides now.
Yeah.
This is where Shane Mumford's got to earn a quid here now.
Good battle between Steele. Oh, that's gee, I don't know about that. Replay will give us a better indication.
All right. I mentioned yesteryear a second ago. Have a look at the bottom insert box.
It's the dangerous tackle.
Touch and go. His head strikes the ground.
Conversion's been the issue so far. Just has 1 goal to his name in his career, but that's a beautiful kick from Steele. And just crept over.
It's worth a review.
He did die on its trajectory, didn't he?
I believe it's a touch behind. I just want to see if
This is worth a review, absolutely.
review underway.
See the other side as well, just to make sure. Yep.
That'll get overturned.
Yep, so that will be a goal, we suspect.
Review complete. The score is a goal.
Well, it's a big goal for the Giants.
Well, that cancels each other out now. You had Bernie Vince get one at that end of the ground first quarter. Now his head goes into the ground, but his shoulder strikes first. So I don't think that's a free kick. But they worked themselves out eventually.
Yeah, it wasn't a slam, was it? It was. He almost decelerated on the way down, but
Yeah.
one each.
Giants by 5. They've kicked the last 2 after Melbourne kicked the last 3 goals of the opening term. So score-wise, they have dominated this second term. Viney. Advantage taken by Vandenberg. Watts just crept over his head. Marchbank.
Good pressure though again. Not letting the ball out.
Very good.
Jack Steele going man to man on Clayton Oliver. They've looked at the same numbers as we've seen, and it's 10 appearances and clearances around the ground. He is dominating the takeaways, so they've plonked a player on him. Not bad in your first game.
First game, you got to press.
Mumford got it down, but Viney is their other major source.
Don't argue.
Yeah, took it on, then got back to Pedersen,
That's a good
to the
kick.
square. Hogan got nudged out of it. Watts kept his feet, kept him in the game, but the ball crept away.
Gee, that was dangerous, that kick. Dangerous for the opposition and well placed for Melbourne.
She's a body work of the Giants' tall defenders has been first class.
They'll be all at sea without Phil Davis at the moment, though.
Of course, they've got young Marchbank, who looks like he's going to be a real player, but still very young in the game. Frost got it over the top. Kelly to Griffin. Hasn't had a massive impact yet. There is Marchbank. Made it Green's problem, and it really was a problem. Illegal disposal. Really had prior, but umpire said illegal disposal. So it's going to come back to Bernie Vince, who's been a terrific contributor since he's joined the Demons in his 2 years. Become a bit more of a contested player over the last 2 years, still getting plenty of the footy, averaged 24 disposals last year. Has a goal already, bangs this one up to the square. Mumford getting back to help out. It's a big body to try and get around. Now it's 50. Intercept marks 13-6 in favour of the Giants. That's one step where they are well ahead, Dern.
Well, that's an intercept mark, but it's a kick placed at their own will where it's going. So intercept marks you want coming you away from pressure upfield, a hack kick coming forward, and somebody reads that. That's just a pack mark worth its weight in gold, that type of thing.
I know you do some work with the Giants talls, Derm. I just saw Tomlinson leading for the ball, and Mummy didn't even have it in his hands. He's got to sort of just make sure you look up and read the play.
Yeah, you always watch the ball, no matter where you are or what you're doing. You've got to know where the ball is and in what state.
Kennedy forced onto his left by Kennedy.
Good pressure.
Yeah, and it's Ben Kennedy in the Demons jumper number 35 there, who forced the error. Careful kick along the line by Bernie Vince for Garland. Now Pedersen, crowd telling him get rid of it. Here's Davis, who's dominated down there, and he does it again. Another intercept mark.
He's got to do something about this, Paul Roos. Just change it up a little bit. Give Melbourne a different look up on that forward line. Maybe put Max Gawn down there or put Hogan up on the ball. Just change it up a little bit.
Kelly left it hanging a little bit. Griffin.
7 minutes to go. Fatigue really setting in. First game of the year. Who can hold their nerve and make good decisions?
I'll tell you who's been holding marks. It's Rory Lobb. He threatened again but didn't take it. And Pedersen, the traffic went past on cue for him there. Oliver, the next link was dodgy, but it was okay. They've got out of there. If this kick hits the target, but not perfect execution, so it's allowed the Giants to just close up a bit here. McDonald took his time and was smart about it.
Travis Solomon kept running to give him an outside option if in fact he swung back to that side of the ground. Good kick.
Vandenberg was on his own for ages. He needs to hold those marks. Normally a really good mark for a midfielder. Now what's the ruling this time? Is he going to be holding the ball?
He is.
Well, they don't want to roll it across the line, so you just can't hatch it, sit on it. You've got to do something with it. It's a good rule.
All one-on-ones where this ball's going to land. Pedersen, Watts.
Good hands.
Oliver runs into Kennedy.
Good pressure, Melbourne's forward line. And the Giants have really only had one dash from deep in defence, and that's the one where Shields was able to take it the length of the field. They've really only had one drag out of there the way they like to do it. That's due to Melbourne's pressure inside 50, like right now.
No easy ball is there for the Giants. But once they get out, that's when they're dangerous. Smith tosses it up for Johnson. Got to go against two. Not the first, not the second. Well done, Jenner. Took it off his hands and brings Harms into it now. A fumble, a critical fumble in a dangerous spot, a vulnerable spot. The Giants pressing hard, but give away a free. And it's going to come back to Jenner. See the run that was in all the legs early has really gone away for the moment. Bernie Vince, as the fatigue sets in.
Yep. Real dangerous time for both teams, because one error here, both teams are ready to be opened up because of the fatigue element.
And that was on display there, and Viney was able to dig in, take the mark. Suddenly Melbourne advancing again. He just paused.
He had nothing to give it to.
Watts came and looked good in the air. No mark. Core done a pretty good job down there as well. Kennedy sneaks a little kick out. Davis, he knows Hogan was there, so he's bundled the handball.
Here it goes again.
Here is Oliver. Just gave it away at the last moment. He's short. He hit the target, but the target didn't take the mark.
He ducked.
Viney did that, and he's been pinged.
Can I just say how good that kick was from Shaw?
Yeah, it was amazing.
That is extraordinary. Under that pressure, he has to kick it through almost like a 12-inch pipe, and it doesn't touch the sides.
Green has to fly, stood his ground well, didn't mark, but the ball goes the Giants' way again. Stevie J, handballs to Lop, surely he'll give it inboard, he does, they're on the charge. Steele's got Ward, and well placed, they've got through, and Ward will go back and put this through, you would imagine.
Well, it is incredible the way the Giants are playing. They've only got one way to goal. They've had a couple of marks, to be fair, and missed their shots.
But that's what I was saying before. When fatigue sets in this time of game, you get opened up completely. You've probably still got more energy halfway through the third quarter than the last 5 minutes before half-time, because you've run for the first time for the whole day.
Third goal of the quarter.
And you've had a reasonable break at half-time. So right now is as close to as fatigued as you're going to be. So you get opened up a bit.
Well, they've kicked 3 goals to none in this quarter. We've talked about Melbourne a lot, but the Giants have kept them goalless in this quarter.
They're the ones who have steadied. They look like they had a chance to really open it up, Melbourne, but they just haven't been able to get through Phil Davis. They've just got to change up that forward structure. Whether it's Jeppy Gala, put somebody down there that just makes it a little bit less predictable.
So the clearances are still going with Melbourne, but the Giants are able to just get a little bit better ball usage as they come forward, and they're getting them on the rebound. The Giants forward line is much more open.
Mumford wins it down. Again, it was Melbourne football, though. Viney to take it. What a game he's played. His 19th disposal coming up for Jack Viney. Takes it wide to half forward. Whitfield forced to defend on Jones. Here's Salem. We know it's a beautiful long kick. Jack Watts should be able to take this grab. He almost did. Fights on hard, but the Giants able to neutralise the situation. And he's going to blow the whistle here, umpire, and call holding the ball.
No, he didn't get it out. He has opportunity. That's twice now he's had an opportunity to body the player, get back and mark. Something he needs to address and get better at.
Yeah, Jared, I was nearly going to touch on that. That's the polish in his game. It's just that aggression in a contest. That's what's lacking. He started so well. He's had 3 more opportunities to take a mark. He's just got to get aggressive.
I'm not sure it's aggression or more than timing. Or even just understanding of what is required. But it's a big upside opportunity for him if he can get that right, Dicko.
Throw in again. Gawn feeds it down. Kennedy, they're hunting. They know they need a goal for the quarter. And to stop this Giants flow, Wilson torpedoes it back to the wing. And then
good play.
McDonald takes a well-judged grab. Ready to send it back in again. There's lots of numbers back there, so tough to take a clean mark. Mumford slapped it out of there. Bug. Didn't make it easy for Vandenberg. He twists and turns. Now sets a task for Garlett.
2-on-1, good defence there, the Giants.
And he's sure clever with the bouncing pass.
Well done, John. It was really smart letting that through.
And it goes to Palmer. He's scrubbed that kick.
Well, that's sloppy stuff. I mean, he's been a very good player for the GWS, but didn't centre that one. Once again, difficult with the lactate running through the legs.
We're down to the last 90 seconds. And Melbourne sensing a real opportunity here with a bit of space on the southern wing. Matt Jones had to fight hard to get into this team. Out wide for Kent. Got Pedersen deep, but he goes to Jones. Was a little bit sloppy with the disposal. Off the left, high for Pedersen again. Davis has been hard to mark against, but Pedersen does the job. Now it's going to be a tough kick for goal, but with the new allowances for the fact that you can move around a bit more.
Maybe a point, is it?
Gee, I didn't think it. I mean, we're at mid-wicket in cricketing terms, but it looked to me like he marked it inside the line.
Nevertheless, Jack Watts should get a look at that video and just see how Cameron Pedersen did it. It was just maybe a push in the back, but looks like he's grabbed it inside.
Well and truly from that look.
Into the shoulder, good decision. Gee, looking at that. Oof. It's got to be all across the line there, so centimetres in it.
Now it shows that the video reviewers need to watch both angles before they make their decisions and not jump to conclusions. I think that was probably the right decision in the end, but now Melbourne desperate for a goal for the quarter. Pedersen.
He's missed. Goodness me.
Missed everything. .29 years of age now, Cam Pedersen, in his 53rd match.
I'm staggered that players still use that. I can't understand why they wouldn't just stand on the side and use their left foot with that. It's more percentage play.
Well, particularly now, Dicko, I mean, you've got that extra space the AFL's allowed to run around a little bit or just improve the angle a little bit.
Not sure I'm with you on that one, Dicko, but all you got to do is hit the ball on the right side of the ball and goes through.
Well, they're storming out of defence again here, the Giants. Last 45 seconds of what's been a very productive quarter for them. Steele, not the best of handballs to Griffin, out to try and ride that out, couldn't. Johnson goes back there, and maybe the opportunity has been missed here by GWS. Maybe not. Johnson again. And a blind kick forward. He didn't have a lot on offer, but
Geez, it'll hurt if they can rebound here now, Melbourne, and they've got a chance.
they've got 20 seconds, but the fumble didn't help for Garlick. This is a big contest. Viney puts the head down, sees off Kelly comfortably.
Standard move, head down, and don't argue. Arm out.
He's a real bull, isn't he? Garlick wide for Pedersen. Can't afford to make a mistake from here. They need a mark, and he needs to hurry up and kick it. Siren about to sound now. So a much better quarter by GWS. Still a fair way off their best. Melbourne just couldn't score. They kicked 4 behinds for the term after kicking 5 straight goals in the first. All the players are exhausted. We're about to catch up with a couple of them in a moment, Jared.
Well, what's amazing to me is we're seeing fantastic football. It's brilliant football to watch, and yet the scoreboard hasn't ticked over in that second quarter. Look for it to open up in the third and the last.
Yes, indeed. As we said, they kicked 3-4 in that quarter, did GWS. Melbourne was still able to get plenty of the football. In fact, win the inside 50s, Melbourne, but not score a goal. Let's get to Ben Dixon.
Fire in the game to the goal square so often.
Well, when Dicko and I were in the rooms then, the forwards were in the main room, the backs were in the main room, and Leon was tearing one group apart behind the walls.
Mids?
Yeah, the only ones left.
So, quarter number 3 begins at the MCG with Max Gawn. Decisive look about the tap. It didn't go to anyone in particular.
I think that's fair. I mean, if you look, Viney's dominating. Jones is going pretty well. Clayton Oliver, the first gamer, has put together one of the best debut first halves the game has ever seen. 17 possessions. He's been incredible. It's 71% effective disposal.
Oh, nutmegged.
Viney keeps on doing it, digging it out. Salem had a little piece of it, but not enough. But Melbourne with control of the footy. Jetta back to Jones. They're going backwards to try and find a path forwards. It's an adventurous kick, really, for Bug, who's not a tall man, and they closed on him pretty well. He's fought the good fight and managed to keep possession of the ball. Oscar McDonald off to Vince, and now to Jack Watts. Pedersen leads out of the goal square. He goes shorter than that, though, to Foster. Needs to get more of the footy.
And Nathan Jones needs to buy Tommy Bug a beer after the game because he saved him from embarrassment.
Big fist again from Davis, but it's into a dangerous spot. And here's Bug. They try and swat him away. Hurry kick from Buntine. Back out towards the wing. Tomlinson. It was an instant kick, and it was 50-50 where it would end up. Bounce wasn't great for Garland. Johnson needs to stay with him. He's sweating on him.
Well done. Good effort, Stevie J. I was critical of him in the first half where he didn't do the team-orientated aspects of the game, but just to work that over, hold the ball in is something his younger teammates are saying he's having a real crack for us.
That was a win. It was also a win for Cole Garland. He wanted to take it over the boundary line and give a free kick away, but he did it well.
They could have had a gentleman's agreement there, I think, to get the ball out of bounds. Here's Bug again. In fact, it might have been Tyson.
Let's just tidy up his possession, Dom Tyson.
Actually, it was Bug. So now McDonald can get into full stride. Tom McDonald kicks to half forward. He was clear. Hogan takes the mark, gives to Jones. The leaders for Melbourne. He just didn't get the right contact, but it still might end okay with Pedersen. And well done, Aidan Corr.
Better for Melbourne, though. Got Davis up the ground and swift entry, but they had the big boy Hogan up at centre half forward.
He was able to backlead him then and get into a bit of space in the corridor. Spoke to Mumford at half-time for about 15 seconds, and he said, we in the midfield are missing too many tackles. So he's a bit angry, the mummy.
Scully, again, that dangerous kick out of defence, which, if it comes off, can produce this sort of run.
Here they go.
And it has. The Tomlinson give was okay. Whitfield again just...
that was a great kick. Well, he kicked it exactly where Stevie J pointed to.
And he gives it out to Palmer, who was threatening to handball, eventually does. Smith trusts the left boot. It's a mighty kick. What a strike. It's just clipped the post.
And Stevie J said, don't worry where I'm running, kick it to where I'm pointing. And that's exactly what he did.
That's the leading version of the look-away handball.
That's right.
That's the look-away lead.
Bernie Vince from one step. Challenge for Vardy to take the mark. He's up to it.
And that's the technique that Jack Watts needs to have a look at and master.
There you go, what I was saying before. Wherever the ball is, you must know exactly, track it and follow it. He's gone. Stevie J did it. Nathan Wilson wasn't alert. He's just playing him back. He's hurt. Nathan Wilson. Did he slam his head into the ground? By accident, I'd suggest. But he is definitely hurt, Nathan Wilson. Oh no, it's his shoulder. He'll get up. His shoulder's sore. He dug his. Watch his left arm dig in.
Well, is it a free kick? I mean, he's paid for that last bit, isn't he?
Yeah, he did fall into his back when you look at it.
Shaw kicks and it fades. Well done, Tomlinson. But Melbourne, sheer weight of numbers, should be able to get out of this. Jones to Vince. Frost versus Shaw, old teammates, and Frost kept his feet. Looked like he was about to escape, but it doesn't happen. Wilson stayed out there, hammers it back in again. They're outnumbered.
Just a fatigue kick from Wilson.
Yeah.
They're not happy with him. It was a dumb kick under pressure. And back to Frost. You could argue the point, but he had plenty of time to turn it.
Oh, that was superb stuff from Callum Ward. If they get a goal out of this, it'll go back to him. Scully's got lobbed deep, and he's lobbed it almost over his head. It wasn't a good kick at all for him. He still might get out of it, though. Oh, Callum Ward, brilliant once. Superb. Not the second time, because he had a couple of teammates on. I thought maybe he didn't.
A lot of Giants are getting stats for waving their arms in the air at the moment. Forwards not working as a unit.
Well, Whitfield had every right to say that should have come to me.
Bernie Vince. He's every right to be tired at the moment. He's getting plenty of the ball in that last line. They've turned it over again. Johnson eventually does give to Griffin as they find a path, a reasonably direct path. It was. In the end, they've had to go right across to a one-on-one that's odds are against them. Mumford will just crunch him if he thinks he's going to lose it.
Jeez, it's a good effort for his foot.
Reeled him in superbly, Big Joe Mumford.
Dylan Shield, he tried to unload Nathan Jones, but went onto the right foot. Hasn't quite nailed that one today.
Beautifully worked by the Demons away from that stoppage.
Kent tried to put the foot down. He was hunted as he kicked it from behind Garlett. Did well on Shaw. Davis, has he dragged it under?
They both got it.
Garlett's got it now.
They've got Jesse Hogan playing up high, boys. I know he's going back to the goal square now, but they've had him pretty high. He's been under the ball a couple of times. I reckon he's best isolated in the forward line, so I'll be intrigued to see if they can do that for him.
Tom McDonald, I think it was Tom, yes it was, who's just come off the ground, Dicko, so keep an eye on him. Seemed to be favouring his shoulder or his arm. Kelly feels the heat now.
We've got two tools off injured at the moment, Tom McDonald and Sam Frost, so a little bit vulnerable. Rotations will be limited.
Free kick paid to Bug. Gets it to Vandenberg. The focus now on Hogan and Davis. He's had his measure all afternoon, and that continues.
Tom McDonald, boys, left shoulder, so I think it's a stinger. He's just swinging it now, as we can see on the screen. The doctors are giving him the thumbs up. I think he's just got a bit of a contact here in this contest here, as he has just a little bit of a tweak.
Oh, good steal, well done.
From Ben Kennedy, who roots it up to full forward. Hogan again against Davis, and Davis again wins the day. Perhaps didn't need to kick it as rushed as that, but fortunately for him, it goes straight to Reece Palmer. Let's check the path. Short to Johnson again, and he's getting up and giving them a way out.
Shields was ignored. He's kept running, though.
He kicks not that well off the left. There's two Giants there. They both had to fly.
Did well, Bernie Vince. He actually read that Stevie J was going to try and kick that to the running winger.
It feels like this next goal, when we say that endlessly, but it's pretty crucial right now for Melbourne, who are 2 goals behind.
Well, this is an arm wrestle right now. Neither team can get the ball within 15 metres and have a real good look at the face of the goals.
Jack Watts, who started well, and that's not a good kick. Right to the favour of Aidan Core.
Improved player, Dern.
Absolutely, continues to develop, Dern.
He's a good player, and he's got some serious wheels for a 6'4" player.
Played 19 games last year.
Mumford working to the outside down the line.
Scully for Johnson. Not the perfect kick, but it's on his terms now. Goes to ground. Flicked the handball up, or lob. Somehow got through to Mumford. They just stay ahead of the game. Shields, this is slicker ball movement. Scully off his left for Toby Green. Never got there. Vandenberg chops it off, and the Demons can pounce through the middle. Running Viney, sharing it. Kent powering on. Has to go. So missed anyway.
They had to score. You know what he didn't have then? The wave of 3 players next to him didn't escort him down. Look, see, they're just a little late, just tapered off there. They had to put the afterburners on as well and be absolutely parallel to him.
In the end, he did have the one short option, and as it unfolded, it was his only one.
Just 2 behinds for the quarter, both kicked by the Giants, and they lead by 12.
A lot more open in that Melbourne forward line. They just haven't been able to link the possessions together.
Wilson.
Lob held.
Advantage taken by Cal Ward. Just dabs it through the middle. Mumford wanted to give to Scully because look what it's created. He's got Steele powering on. He doesn't see him. He goes for goal and misses.
Yeah, once again, the arms are in the air. And this, I think, wasn't addressed properly last year by the Giants. They go solo too often in the forward 50. That said, Scully's putting together a pretty damaging game for his club.
17 disposals and a goal for Tom Scully. Kennedy is impressed. He just sits this one up, hoping for Gawn. There's some interference there.
How are you seeing this battle, Dean?
I think Maxi's outstretching him.
Oh, it's 50.
Yeah.
Abuse.
Maxi's outstretching him when the ball's dropping on them high. And he also did well then. What he did, he grabbed Mummy's arm and tucked it under his own right wing. See here? He's actually got him there for a start. And that's to make... See, Mummy's actually signalling it. That's to make sure that Mummy can't jump up over the top of him.
Yeah, that was the argument he was making. Again, Hogan out-bustled to the ground. It's Garlett. Oh, and Stevie J. That'll win plaudits for him, teammates.
So everything that Big Maxi wants is just to turn it into a battle of reach.
Neither have dominated, though, have they, really?
Round the ground, probably a 0-all draw. 9 possessions to 7.
Giants by 13. Tense third quarter at the MCG. Saturday afternoon footy. 2 emerging sides, so strong through the pre-season. What can they produce in the real stuff? We're finding out gradually. Kelly, not 15. This is the run and dash through the middle. They crank it up. Wilson, cute little kick off the outside. It sits and waits and finally is controlled by Marchbank. And it's opened up for Stewart, who we haven't seen a lot of this afternoon.
Just the one touch today.
Well, the one thing I'd say is your ruckman controls the middle of the ground. And Melbourne are 10-2 in centre bounce takeaway clearance. So you've got to give Maxi the points there. Mummy will still fiercely accidentally jump into him and hurt him all around the field. But Maxi's got to be taking the points now in the centre bounce. So if that goes to a 50-50, the Giants win this.
From 3 shots at goal from this spot, he's kicked the behind either side and 1 goal, and that one goes to the left as well. So not the ideal spot as far as Stewart is concerned just yet in his young career. 6 goals, 12-48 now, the Giants, and that's becoming an issue for them.
18 shots to 9, and they're only 14 points ahead, as you called.
Yeah, but they're 12 behind in the inside 50, so fascinating contradictions in the numbers.
Oh, he sure read it and came off his man to come out and meet this.
And Kent punted him down and could have been holding the ball. Same treatment on Hogan, but he just got ball to boot.
This bloke is absolutely flying at the moment.
Has to trust his right boot, and he was able to.
Well, he was at the back of the zone, Jared, at the other end.
Power is enormous.
He was at the back of the zone, so he's run 100 just to receive that spillage.
Adam Kennedy, some uncertainty there. You saw it now, he's running not to an angle where he could really kick it to somebody, and you can see he went backwards to go forwards as Nathan Wilson decides just to draw things to a halt a little longer.
Not 15.
That's an issue.
He's got some pace.
Burns away again to a flat-footed player in Whitfield, and then Griffin. One handball too many. Jetta comes hard the other way. Oliver been a bit quieter in this third term, but not 15. Is he out of bounds? Kennedy, he walked the tightrope, had to rush the left foot kick, and you can see the result. It was going to be all Giants. Caught. Was that incorrect disposal? Melbourne pushing. Hogan has a win. But he gives it straight back to guess who?
This is where they're wasting it. I mean, they've had 24 inside 50s from their last goal, which was 26-minute mark of the first quarter. So something's got to change in their ball movement or their forward structure, because they're bombing it, they don't have representation, then they do bomb it, and they've got too many forwards. It's just a bit confusing at the moment how they're structuring up.
Gee, they're red hot on the not 15, aren't they, right now?
Just on that, Dicko, their key forwards, because of the number Davis has done on Jesse Hogan, they've lost their shape of what they expect to be ahead of them.
Smith gives by hand this time to Kelly. Was trying to have a meticulous little kick, but it was touched on the way. He ducked his head then.
Yeah, that is an interesting one.
He drove his head into him. You're allowed to bend down and pick up the ball, and if somebody comes and makes contact, it's head high. He did that, but then he motioned into the belly of Jones and drew the high free kick.
Melbourne crowd getting restless right now. They haven't seen a goal since the first quarter.
I don't know whether Jack Watts is injured or not, but he's one bloke that needs to find the footy and have an impact.
Well, he's the one bloke who's actually given the movement in the forward half.
I think Dom Tyson not doing enough with the ball. He needs to impact on this game.
Oh, look at the way he went through the pack. Oh, he ran into his own teammate, Kelly. Unbelievable way to give up the football. Jones, and they're out. Jenner with pace. Clever handball to Hogan. The next give all important. Tyson eventually gets it to Kent. He's got the chance to kick off the left. Finally a Melbourne goal. And it's on again at the G.
Well, it's been a very good pickup. And a good goal. This is a 2-goal turnaround because Kelly has just collided with his own man, Devon Smith. Ball came free in a dangerous scenario. Everyone was running forward thinking, let's get on goal duty for the Giants. The Tsunami had to backtrack, and Melbourne actually made them pay. Nice hook around the corner.
Is that a pressure turnover?
It is. That's what it was.
A self-pressure turnover.
Well, it ends up being a very costly exercise for the Giants. Jared, as you mentioned, could easily have been a goal to the GWS. Instead, Melbourne back within 8 points and their first goal since the opening term.
Dangerous player, Kent. Really ball in hand. He knows where they are.
Lob for Steele. Stripped of it.
Another centre clearance.
Melbourne might have their mojo back right now after getting a goal. Kent, which way will it head? It goes the Giants' way, and decisively as Ward leads them. Gets it to Shield.
Johnson arm one out deep.
And that's where he heads. Tries to duck out the back on Garland, who's a pretty experienced defender himself now. 27 years of age, Cole Garland. 136 games of AFL football.
Well, they're so worried about Phil Davis's number on Jesse Hogan. He's in the ruck now. And he's ruck roving, so it leaves Phil Davis against a smaller opponent.
Debbie Garland's the one you want out the back.
Phil Davis has just come off Dermot for a bit of a spell.
Just tempered his kick, but he still didn't find his man. Johnson, the little standoff. Been doing that for a long time. Left foot kick to the goal square. Oh, that was an outstanding effort to get back Maxi and take that mark on the last line. Old-fashioned ruckman mark there, saving the day. He's a bit of an old-fashioned type ruckman too, Maxi, but he covers some ground and can take a grab. Now, Bernie Vince trying to mark his own territory back there. Oh, that was a moment which he wishes he could have back, and it just gets worse and worse. Well done by Ward to capitalise.
Devon Smith pressure.
Spoil. The spoil was what it was. And the Demons have just given back the goal that they worked so hard to get the reverse. Not enough desperation, not enough people. That should have been a smother from Max Gawn. He allowed that pressure to come on top, and so the little things are starting to impact on the match.
That was for a 100-kilo 6'4" forward, Adam Tomlinson, who was knackered after having taken the ground underneath the Max Gawn mark. So that's the technical term.
No, I think
still to chase and lay hands on the back of Bernie Vince. Now, I would say this is going to be the most important centre bounce clearance of the match.
Back to 14 points.
Pedersen in against Mumford.
Equal game high lead for the Giants. Mumford tried to guide it for Steele. It's only millimetres in. Harms comes off and gave it to Viney by De Vince, but he was dumped. Now Griffin on the outside against Hogan, just having a run up on the ball. He did well, but he was so badly outnumbered that it's gone the Giants' way. Kelly sets sail. Johnson stays down. It never got there because Big Rory has taken some decisive marks today.
He's been a big improver over the pre-season campaign, and he's taken it into the match.
This is the hard part now. He's kicked 1 goal, 3.
Well, you see in the closed-off box there, Tomlinson engages the tall player on site, McDonald, and there's nobody else who's even competitive to reach the ball as high as Rory Lobb can.
Of course, no Jeremy Cameron today, and Cam McCarthy not currently playing football at all. Little stutter step from Lobb, and it's through. It's good enough.
He's always had that stutter step.
What he is just a fantastic contested mark, and this is what Jeremy Cameron can't do. That's exactly what he needs to add to his game if he's going to be the superstar forward. But that is a brilliant asset. Dicko.
Oh, Jesse Sager's just come off for a spell now. I know what Melbourne are trying to do. They get him into the game. You'll see him on the bench now. Had him in the midfield, just trying to get it. He's running around like a chook with his head cut off at the moment. He was only kept goalless in round 21 from last year. And you look at it now, I would be isolating up in the forward line. You just got to give this guy all the space that he can work in. Last year he was dominant as the one key forward. So having me up on the ball, I think, is a waste, and it's probably not doing him any justice. I'd be isolating him forward, give me every opportunity to kick some goals.
Kicked 3 in the last round when these two sides last met in round 23 last year. High ball from Shield. Giants waiting down for it. Scrambling Palmer, ducks through Vince. The next handball was good, and the next one not so good. Stewart just sold his teammate Johnson into all sorts of trouble. Demons hoping for it to go out of bounds.
Wilson's appealing for it, hasn't gone out yet. It stayed in.
And this is Kent again. He better watch out because he's about to wrap him up. Vandenberg for Watts, but see, they have been wayward. And those kicks into 50, and that will be 50 metres.
Yeah, he oversteps the mark because he didn't want the easy ball going sideways. You know what? It's not a bad 50. Now this is Nathan Wilson appealing for it. It's still in, Willow. And he thinks it's out now. He's looking, he said, surely that was out. Always watch the ball.
Yep.
Davis gave it to Shield.
Nearly critical.
And now Kelly with a bullet-looking kick.
Yeah, great spot.
Well done from Jetta.
Had to be a great spot. For the first time today, the Giants have had 2 centre bounce clearances in a row. It just automatically changes the complexion of the game.
That's one thing they've been terrific at all day, those intercept marks.
It's Melbourne now trying to clear the ball out of their back line against overwhelming odds and turning it over by foot when they do get a bit of run and carry out.
And it's such timely clearances though too, Derm, because Melbourne had just finally broken through and kicked that goal.
Yeah.
And the Giants have responded and lead by 20.
So right now, we all look at it and say who's on who, but this is purely right now about structure, where you put your men behind the footy to lock the ball in.
Kelly's getting better and better as the day goes on. Whitfield to the square. Lob dangerous. Oh, he got clobbered high.
Look at it.
Umpire didn't get a look at it. Smith. Ooh. He's just about missed the lot there.
He has, and he would take another 10 shots in that fashion and he'd nail 8 of them.
Diggo, is that Oscar McDonald just hobbling off the ground?
Yeah, he's coming off now, as you mentioned, Jared. I think, yeah, you're spot on. I think it might have been contact to the hip. So in that incident, we can see just coming up now. Might even be pretty innocuous, I would have thought. I'll find out and come back to you.
So they really did miss one with Rory Lobb. That should have been a free kick in front of goal. Can the Demons capitalise? Not yet, because Whitfield's drilling the pass, and he will get another chance now, Devon Smith.
Well, since Melbourne kicked that goal, the Giants have completely dominated this game. Their possession rate has been enormous. Their hands through the middle of the ground are starting to show us what they're capable of under enormous pressure.
Caleb Marchbank's work there was first rate. Youngest kid on the list at GWS last year. Great big lad. He's going to turn into a 100+ kilo key backman. He's only 19.
He's only been in this spot once before at the MCG. He put it through last time. He misses this time. And they haven't killed them yet.
Since that goal, it's 24 possessions to 11. It's 13 contested possessions to 6. It's 7 inside 50s to 1. It's just been 7 minutes of complete domination.
And Melbourne have only had 6 kicks that have hit the target.
Melbourne look as if they've almost just blown up. They're fatigued and they haven't got another leg to or step on the ladder to rise. They've got to find something and quickly.
Wilson bombs away to a spot that's been pretty productive in the last few minutes or so for the Giants. No mark that time. Salem. He did well.
Yeah, he was under real pressure.
got it to the line.
That went out.
Actually keep it in. Matt Jones, going to be easy for them here. Let's see if the Giants can round it up. Mumford, happy to keep it in. Yes. Brings it back for Davis and try and create again. Shield.
Good wide hand
closing, but they've just been able to keep it out of their hands.
Clever.
And now the switch is on for
Davis
sure.
took the heat out of that one.
Oscar McDonald, boys, has gone down into the dugout. It's a left ankle, so he's down there with the doctor. I'll keep you posted if he comes back on.
Not a great kick to a 2-on-1. Melbourne get a chance to rebound. They need a lift out of this big boy.
Hogan, he saw off Whitfield, and he kicks it, which could end up being productive for them. Advantage?
No, don't take it. Giants are set up really well. They've got 5 against 2 ahead of the footy, so he sees that. Well done. Goes back behind the mark and waits for the cavalry to arrive.
Dean Kent, as Jared mentioned before, he gets a good run out without injury, which stymied him last year. He could be a very good player. Hogan at least getting into the play now.
Couple of minutes, yeah. They need another 32 of them out of him.
His 10th disposal coming up. He bangs away for Pedersen.
Once again, though, banging away isn't getting the job done for Melbourne.
It might here, though. Matt Jones from Vandenberg. Stand start Pedersen. Going to drop well short and go out of bounds on the full. Touched, in fact.
Let's have a look at Oscar McDonald. Watch him land. Oh, rolled ankle. Yeah, that'd be hard to come back from. Oh, on the day. Yeah. He'd have snapped the tape on that one.
No subs these days. Marchbank hammers it out of there. Stewart.
Did he hold before he had it?
Touch and go, wasn't it, really?
Yeah. He's presented better in this third quarter. They come up to the football as it's exiting the back line.
Yeah, it's a big kick too. Hogan back as the extra. Stevie J.
Oh, got one ahead. Can't release it.
Got the numbers here, Melbourne. Got to get a chain of handballs rolling.
Jones knows that. Goes back first. Hogan out wide for Vince or Sloppy. Fatigue a big factor in this game right now. Melbourne, at the very least, need to dig in and make sure they don't concede any more goals in this third quarter.
That's a good kick.
Maybe they can create something. Frost decides to go. Hopelessly outnumbered. As long as the Giants can work with each other, they're always going to win the ball back. There wasn't a lot of cohesion about it.
No, but they've got great structure at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't great talk between the three of them to say, you do the jump, I'll do the spoil, and I'll do the crumb. But they've actually got really good structure wherever the ball's going. Hence again, Tom Scully says, no, I don't have what I want ahead of me, so I'll wait until I can get, well, Rory Lobb on occasion just to present himself.
Oh, and Palmer took it away from them. They are just a little bit good right now for Melbourne. Ward taking it outside. Can they penetrate? Whitfield all the time in the world to make sure he scores a goal. And unfortunately, sometimes you can have too much time.
Well, they've got good defensive structure. They're holding their back line. But Melbourne are getting blokes up the ground. They're not doing the work then. They're not pushing. As soon as they get possession, they're not pushing up to get representation in their forward 50. They're flat out at the present time, and they're looking like they need a rest.
2 goals, 6 to a goal in this quarter.
It's very foreign for them to look up and not see Jesse Hogan. In the space of 22 games of last year, they're now used to just seeing Hogan fill up the viewfinder.
It's Johnson. Was it a push?
So I'm with Dicko. I'd get to Jesse Hogan at three-quarter time and say, you've touched it a few times now.
Get back to full forward.
You want to be a champion. You go back and say, right, not my day, but it could be my quarter. Win the game.
Well, to do that, another goal here would be super handy. It's going to be awfully difficult for Harms. He looks up, he sees orange jumpers everywhere. So he buys some time. In fact, Jones is going to give up some time, really, by going back to Garland.
See, that's a win for structure by the Giants.
Still going to take some time to get it towards goal.
Good kick.
Aggressive kick if it comes off. Bug couldn't mark it. 14 seconds. It could still be a time for a turnover. Advantage paid. Jones. And he goes to Maxi. And Gordon's going to have a shot after the siren.
Well, that's a better look at it. You got Max going up there. Got away with one there. Bug should have gone 2 hands. But Jones has not tried to overkick that one. He's kicked it within his range, and he's hit up Max Gawn for a chance to keep the Demons in it if he nails this one.
Maxi Gawn, I reckon, has been born 20 years too late. He is one of the real characters. If he came through the 70s, he'd have one of the great nicknames.
1 goal, 2 from this position, one either side for Max Gawn. Melbourne fans desperate for him to get this online. It just wouldn't. It just wouldn't quite. So Melbourne, the stark reality is they've only kicked 1 goal since quarter time. The Giants haven't put them away just yet, though. It's GWS. 2 goals, 6 to 1-1 for the quarter, and their lead is 21 points at the final change. Knows on camera that this game is far from over, and they're going to be right on their mettle.
They did look so much better, so much more athletic in that third term, and we'll get back to the interchange, but Melbourne looked completely flat out. We'll find out if they've got anything left in the tank in the next 30 minutes.
Similar number of rotations for each team. We'll, as Jared said, discuss it further, the impact it could have in this last quarter. Oliver had a quiet third term, but he's been terrific on the day. As Kennedy comes up to take the mark. He's been pretty solid for the Demons. First time in Melbourne colours in the real thing.
Got it.
And he has. Watts takes the mark. A decisive mark. Needs to go back and convert.
Well, that time Davis lost his body. Jack Watts had 2 or 3 metres, and that's where he's most comfortable. He hasn't quite learnt the art of the body and then back into the space. I think that's something they need to employ somebody like your good self to go down there and have a chat to him about.
I watched that in isolation. Phil Davis followed his man Hogan out, and Marchbank said, no, I'll take him, but it didn't leave Davis enough time in the handover to get to Jack Watts.
Should be comfortable from here on the numbers, and he is.
Oh, that'll make Leon real angry now.
Big goal for the Demons, and you can see what it means. Big breath and trying to get them going again.
Well, it was a centre clearance. It was just pure footy. Ruckman to Rover. Rover rode half forward, turns around, looks for the main man. And this time it's Jack Watts. You can see there the separation. It was a good shot from behind the goals. And both Giants boys lost their men. And Jack Watts was the recipient. And he starts with a confidence-building goal.
Good action. Pressure kick. It's in close. Very few set shots have hit the target today, so that's a good pressure kick. The game hinges on accuracy inside 25 now.
Mumford rode it out, got the tap. Again, it's Oliver looking to get Melbourne first use. Garlick coming in off the wing and gives them some pace and some spring. Hogan's on a lead. In fact, the kick goes shorter than that and is well controlled. It's Vandenberg who's deep. Takes the mark.
Oliver won possession in the second quarter.
Plays on, just demanded it. It's working its way back. Free kick. And it's going to Hogan, I think. Yes.
So let me go back to Clayton Oliver. 1 possession in the third term. In the last term, he's had 2 clearances, 2 disposals, and Melbourne are about to kick their second goal. Nobody from the Giants has touched the ball in this quarter.
What a dramatic change in 2 minutes 30 seconds. 2 straight goals. Jesse Hogan's able to salute.
Now we've got a game doing.
The urgency by Vandenberg put pressure. It would have been so easy, 52, 55 metres out, so easy just to go back and take the set shot, long pot, but it put pressure. See how Davis has turned around there?
Had to be a free kick.
Yeah, he's put pressure on him just by playing on, swinging back into the centre and trying to get a little bit of curve on that drop punt to the goal face.
It's taken 3 quarters and 3 minutes, but Jesse Hogan has kicked a goal for Melbourne. Vandenberg was the architect, and they're back now. They've dominated the opening 3 minutes of this final term. Giants yet to really touch the ball. Let's see if that changes at the centre bounce. Mumford got the tap down, and they will get away. Green servicing Core, and then Shield ran into a roadblock. No way out of there. Forced it forward. They do get away. Scully, kick all importance, rolling forward. McDonald takes the mark.
Bit of a weak defence there, playing in front. Good pressure on the ball carrier.
Terrible kick by Scully, who's had such a good day. Kicked a torpedo. He actually had Stevie J 20 metres off his man by himself in the corridor.
Matt Jones Back to the wing, Shaw outside, but got the fist on it and followed up, but it's all Melbourne out the back and they can stream forward. Viney across to Jones, the next one to Kennedy. They've still got the extra number to use here. On the lead of Watts, takes it 70. Jesse's calling for it. He pops it up into the space. He comes at the football and he marks.
It's a big 3 or 4 minutes from Melbourne.
So what's happened now is Marchbank in another handover. Davis has followed his man out. Well, sorry, he's got the handover and had to follow Jack Watts out. Marchbank, the inexperienced Marchbank, is up against Jesse Hogan from the goal square.
Now we get to see the technique of Jesse Hogan, which popped some criticism in the pre-season. You know, it's interesting, but he's about 40 metres out. His accuracy last year was actually excellent. The little stutter, the alignment, the drop looked okay. The connection was fantastic, and it's straight through, and it's 3 in a row for the Demons.
Well, they were flat out like a lizard drinking in the third quarter, and it looked as if they'd run out of puff. They just had stopped working, but they have been electric since the third quarter, since the last quarter commenced. Good ball movement by Jack Watts. He's almost their best kick. And this is a fantastic statement by a bloke. Under pressure last week. What a mark, and then going back and nailing it.
With all the pressure, he just soaked it up and delivered. And he's been down all day, but has produced 2 goals in this last quarter. It's game on at the MCG. 3 points the difference now. The Giants under siege. Shield for Kennedy. Garlett, who's had an impact in the middle, to half forward Garland. And Nathan Jones, the warrior, sees off 2 and sets something else off coming off halfback. Vandenberg is a mature player. The kick goes wide though, and it's marked by Viney, who's been outstanding. Back to the wing. Kelly has to turn around on Frost. Negated him for the first time. This is Bug. Gets it off now. Jenner looking up. Wanted someone to come to him. It wasn't a great kick. He didn't have a lot on offer. Untimed.
This is where you'll test just how mature the Giants have got in their 4 or 5 years of being alive. Under real pressure in a game where they were controlling it, whether they can still commit to the process that got them in front by 3-4 goals. No, they haven't.
Poor kick from Scully, just blindly sending it forward. The Demons are on the move. Garlett's the deepest. Vandenberg might want to go on his own. He moves nicely. Chipped it up. He didn't go for goal.
Chance, didn't he?
The way he moved with such authority earlier when he took them on, you would have thought he would have gone for goal then. But
no, he just fatigued on that. He overstrided on the last step. He was trying to just guide the ball through. I reckon he was having a shot. But, look at this.
Kennedy flicks it out. Garland will have a shot. Garland won't make the mistake. Demons are in front. What a comeback. Four goals in a row for Melbourne in 7 minutes and 20 seconds has stunned the Giants and set the MCG crown alight.
Well, this is just an incredible turnaround, Dean. They just couldn't run out of sight in the third quarter. At the present time, it looks like the Giants thought they'd done enough. At 3/4 time, Q went in the rack.
Leon Cameron was well founded in his anger over those missed shots.
He'll be livid right now.
And that's a missed kick by a very, very experienced player. They've actually stepped away for these opening 7 minutes. They've stepped away from what got them the lead in the first place.
And Oliver again digs deep out of the middle. Scully cops one. He's had a lot of the footy. His 24th disposal was by hand to Griffin. Penetrating kick, well placed for Tomlinson.
See, that's a good mark. It's, once again, Scully's impact on this match has been enormous. And I think the more or the greater the limitation on interchange, the greater his value is going to be. He's such an aerobic beast.
Might have the Rob Harveys of the world re-enter in the fray.
Not a bad thing.
And this bloke runs a 16 beep. He's a good endurance athlete for such a big fella.
17 goals, 16 over his career, Tomlinson. And that's the wrong side of the big post. And they're now 8 goals, 15 for the day. those as we said, misses could prove extremely costly.
I think they'll be hoping that Ryan Griffin, who is a big name in this game, can give them a huge lift.
Buntine drops the chest mark. Made it more difficult than it was. Viney's got Garlick running through, and that spells trouble. Kennedy's away inside 50. He shouldn't get this, so he went for Frost instead. It's okay. Kennedy's still on his own. And Frost is going to go back.
Frost is a big athlete with such good wheels as well. Another one of those boys who came through GWS a few years ago. Serious wheels on him and able to get out the back at pace for a 6'4", 6'5" player. The Buntine's drop mark on the back flank just opened the door for Viney to push the ball forward at pace.
Only played the 3 games last year before injury cruelled him. And unfortunately for Melbourne, he's missed that one to the left. And the tension grows at the MCG. 13.5 minutes remaining. Still a heap of time in this last quarter, which has already produced 4 Melbourne goals. Heath Shaw. It's a challenging kick, too much so for Davis. Over his head, will have a throw in.
Make no mistake, that bit of play there, kicking out from fullback. He played on because there was no movement. The last 2 entries from Melbourne have been GWS midfield, staying in the middle, guarding grass, no movement at all. So they've got to get on their bike. I don't think Leon will have any trouble putting his finger on what's wrong at the moment.
Well, a few of their mids, like Griffin.
Buntine, they're running again. Scully has to rush this one. And it wasn't the perfect kick. The bounce was very accommodating. He's done well, Marchbank. Oh, Johnson's handball. Might have helped if he was looking. Now Watts feeds it to Harms. They're on. Hogan's out the back. He went for him, Harms. Smother, how critical could that be? Wilson tempered the kick. It was well done.
It was really well done.
Got it to Palmer. Tomlinson one-on-one with Garland. Does he put his faith in him? The young man leads to the ball. It's too much. Oh, it's Johnson. It's Stevie J.
Well, Melbourne had them surrounded. There was a posse of them down there, but Johnson was just in space. He was allowed to get the back of the pack, and the kick was superb.
Let's have a look at Stevie J line this up, and well done by Wilson. Panic kick by Melbourne going forward, which Wilson was able to pick off. You can argue with the umpire. There you go. 5 out of 7. What's that? Then about 84% from here.
Just the straight ahead drop punt required. All that experience from Stevie J. He nurses it through and gives the Giants back the lead. Big goal, though.
Massive goal and a good turnaround and a good fight back by the Giants. Great game of footy, Dermot. I'm not sure where this one goes, but if Scully is allowed to freewheel again in this last quarter, he won't fatigue. He will keep running. I think the Giants will get up. They've got to find somebody to cut him out.
It's one of those situations now when that's the smother. Yeah, the young lad there just panicked with the kick, Harms, thinking, get it forward at all costs.
Those little moments in this match so important. The smother ends up producing the goal. Could have been a goal at the other end.
And we've got one of those rare games where the team that's leading's kicked less goals.
10 goals to 9. Centre bounce, and which way to go? Oliver get the hands free, but Ward more than a match. Charging through, halted in his tracks, but got the ball forward at all costs. Palmer rode the bump, got the ball out. Ward again, angles the kick. Stevie J, what's he got for us here? What's he got? Johnson runs into the traffic, can't get out the other side, but his teammate did. Oh, Stewart's there, McDonald, he'll just soccer it through.
Still, they weren't using the players in the periphery. Here's the bump. This is a beauty.
Every contest is shift forward to the edge of your seat.
Low kick is a good one for Vandenberg. Was there a chop of the arms? Thought there might have been.
And a punch in the back of the head.
Shaw sets it up to full forward. Can someone run and jump and take a mark? They can. It's a Melbourne mark. And it's Bernie Vitz.
Well, I lost him back there because of his kicking.
Yeah, and he's a good mark really for a size for a midfielder. Gets it out to Garland, wants to move it. They've got to have the courage to run still in the last quarter. Tyson to Hogan. Can they step their way through this? They've got Watts and Kennedy, both goals, so Watts has to come up to the ball. He was called upon just to wait.
They did it well there. Now they can reset the Giants and get the numbers back. So Melbourne have got to be, even if they're slow, they've just got to maintain possession, pick a hole through this very crowded forward line.
Well, what they've got going for them now, if they can get deep from here, You've got Jesse Hogan is away from Phil Davis.
And we've got Lobb and Garlett in the goal square. Fair mismatch if they can get it even deeper.
What they are, though, is susceptible to the turnover.
He did well to get a hand to it, Core. Shaw.
Slingshot
Johnson. Oh, it was a dodgy handball. Wilson gets leg.
Yes. Oh, that's stiff as well for the Demons.
Crowd seeing the replay didn't change their minds, funnily enough.
Says they've got some players wide on the southern wing, but he's elected to go the other side of the contest.
Ward flies just off the bench. Green, maybe he knew that. That's a cheap, costly free.
That is one of the most, that possibly could turn out to be the most hurtful free kick of the day, because Melbourne has got structure behind the footy and we're about to repel that attack and go deep forward in the other direction. All depends on what they do with it now.
It's Cal Ward that sends it forward. Stuart Tomlinson, free kick to Pedersen.
Some done stuff going on in the forward line at both ends of the ground.
Well, Rory Love's going to outstretch everyone. I don't know why I'd want to put body on body.
They've made it wide here, the ground made it big, and they're out.
And McDonald, they are out.
Garlett's dangerous.
And Hogan might be the one on the end of it. He's leading back to goal. The kick goes in his direction. Jesse against Marchbank. Free kick. Marchbank panicking.
Just swift ball movement.
We're in for another lead change here, Jared.
Well, the scrutiny on full forwards is always immense when we get to the last 10 or so minutes of a game, a close game.
He just had to see that the support was coming, Caleb Marchbank. Just put a body check on him without giving the free kick. Well, we've added to that the last shot.
His numbers have improved.
Here he comes.
That's weird.
On the skip. Doesn't matter how it looks, as long as it goes through. Melbourne back in front of the MCG. 3 goals in the last quarter for Jesse Hogan, and they are in front.
Sized it up well too, Jack Watts. Saw the big key forward ahead of it. There's Davis arriving on the scene. Third man on the spot. And Core coming back with the flight. Was always going to impact the contest.
Oh, what a test this is for 2 young emerging teams. Round 1, the coaches try and play it down, but everyone knows how important it is. Melbourne lead by 2 points at the MCG. Jesse Hogan with 3 big last quarter goals. Vince has been held. Free kick. And the footy will go into Melbourne's forward line again. Davis standing with Hogan deep, but it's coming via Jetta, who pops it up for the skipper.
Rush. They got control, they got the lead.
Watts in the left pocket.
Good lead by Hogan.
Buntine got a fist to it. The anticipation was excellent. Jones scrambles it back Hogan's way. Just to fashion the kick for Kennedy.
Well, had an opportunity there, the Giants, when they elected to punch instead of electing to intercept mark, and all of a sudden there's another opportunity for a shot at goal. It's a nice little kick, nice little boomerang pass.
And Ben Kennedy, as we mentioned earlier, a talented youngster, wasn't really able to get the senior position at Collingwood that he craved in his early days. A chance at Melbourne, and unfortunately he misses to the left. And 3 points the difference. The game still on a knife edge at the MCG.
8 minutes of magic here. Don't want it to end, but it's been such an entertaining game.
It's a good game.
And fatigue is going to be a massive factor.
Jeez, that's gutsy play.
Who's going to keep on running? Wilson sends it Lob's way. He's well positioned to mark. Gawn did an excellent job not to give away the free. Shield off the left boot. It wasn't a perfect strike, and just gets Green on the wing. So he'll look up. Stevie J being marked by McDonald. Didn't like the chances there, so brings it back in for Marchbank.
Well, he sure is signalling some of the forwards to come up, give them some representation.
Goes to Whitfield. Now the aggressive switch across the middle. Hangs it up for Kennedy. One time, well done by Kennedy. Salem had support. Oliver, what a game he's played. Charging forward, Vandenberg. Garlett should take this. He'll jump over young Marchbank. No, he won't. Caleb Marchbank. He's been manhandled a few times, but a young, talented defender he is. And that time he had the poise to take the mark.
Toby Green on the boundary line just in front of me here, boys. The right knee. So he slid over the line and just jarred it right in front of the interchange. So doesn't look that good at the moment, but I'll keep you posted if he comes back on.
Yeah, Dicko, when he went for that chest mark, his knee plugged the ground just probably a little bit firmer just there, and it didn't give him a slide.
What are they doing, the Giants? I guess desperate to give the ball back.
Well, they are, aren't they? All over the place at the moment. And he waited and waited till Garlick got to the right spot.
Well, right now you go back and review this last quarter and say there's been 4 or 5 absolute unprofessional free kicks or mistakes by the Giants that could well end up costing them the game.
Now Kent limping from the ground for Melbourne.
Cramp, is it?
Get Dicko to watch that, but we will watch with others. All eyes on Garlick. That's his career. So it hasn't been the greatest spot for him from 40 out. He's poked that out. It's touch and go. It's touch.
He needs to put a couple of 20-cent pieces in that boot. Just a little bit more of a heavy hit.
Meticulous kick in to Shield. Will he do the same or go longer?
See, what they need now is the big representation down the line. Lob's there.
And he's got to contend with 3, and there's one of the 3. McDonald. He's cramping now. So this is where the toughness of round 1. It's hard physically, it's hard mentally. Crowd thought it might have been downfield. Gawn got hands to it. Jack Watts. Stand up, Jack. Handball across to Vandenberg. The bounce of the footy. The oval-shaped ball. It goes bouncing through Melbourne's way. It bounced straight.
Going to be hard to knock off from here, Dermot. And he was missing in the middle half, Jack Watts, after he got a serious corking. But his third quarter, and in particular this last quarter, he's just produced a couple of moments of magic.
Well, if you've got 5 minutes to go, one team's only kicked 1 goal for the quarter, and the other have kicked 6. The tide has turned. It'd be remarkable if they could stop it now.
And what a noise at the MCG from Melbourne fans. This has been a stunning performance in this final term. They've kicked 6 goals to 1. Mumford on tired legs. The Giants try and get it out of the middle. Kelly to Kennedy. Heaves it onto the boot. Guided it though for Steele. He's got Ward if he sees him. 30 out. And the kick, it didn't quite get to him. Almost. Thrown. That was a throw. Dead set by Tomlinson. Umpire didn't see it. Ward, Green, come off the bench. And goes back to Steele. Not far enough, the umpire said. Hurried kick Kennedy into the pocket. McDonald. And it's over and out.
Panic kicks. The Demons are down there. Let's have a look. What's your decision? That's a flick pass, a throw.
I'm not so sure.
Did well to get a fist to it looking at the replay, but still think it's a throw. Throw in at the back. Jack Watts at the other end. Gave it to Gawn. Tyson's kick shut down. March back. Got one.
Griffin free kick.
Griffin.
That's where you've got to have what we used to call battle calm. You've got to be up for the contest. You've got to be ferocious, but you can't let it spill into free kicks in critical moments. You've got to have that real ferociousness about your play, but remain calm for the moment.
Caleb Marchbank, a young, emerging defender, full of talent, great size, still learning the way. What a moment for him. And he sucked this all in and concentrate, and go back and kick it. He can't. Just the wrong side with 4 minutes remaining.
26 scoring shots to 20.
It's an old adage term about straight kicking. So important in footy.
Good legs here from Frost.
Takes the mark, sends it Salem's way. It was on defence, he marked it anyway. And the hands are off to say, just take it easy.
Is the game changing for Melbourne? I mean, this is their highest scoring quarter since round 3, 2013.
Tyson is the next post. Hogan wants it long. He's been beaten by Davis for 3 quarters. He could kick 4 1/4 if he marks now. He does it. Kennedy. And it's over the line. That's not a bad thing for Melbourne with 3:23 in the clock and in a 9-point lead.
And Dicko, even that one, I think that's an abnormality because that was against the first-year GWS team as well, and they were absolute babies. So yeah, it's just their longest scoring quarter.
Talking final quarters there, Dicko, with that. But 9 points is the margin. There's still 3 minutes 14 remaining in this game. Still plenty of time, although that can change very, very quickly.
You're now overestimating the kicking length. That's a free kick.
He just drew the free kick. He didn't even attempt to go for it there, Steve. He knew what he was up and doing.
Got to move it quickly. Just 3 minutes. Need 2 goals.
He's going to try and step in here. He waited till he wanted him a bit closer.
Cal Ward
now lobs the target ahead. 6'10".
Goes for the pass on the lead instead for Tomlinson.
She's returned nearly 3 minutes, just under this.
Has to go.
Almost needs to be a goal for sure. Last opportunity.
Tried to second guess then because Lobb was at the top of the square, about 20 metres out, and Patterson was trying to second guess. I'll give assistance as third man up.
Here's the kick from the 50. It was awkward looking and fades. Fades to grey, to black, to nothing.
So they'll almost be thinking about just taking a minute off the clock here. We haven't seen it so much this year. Everybody's been on the attack.
We are only 2 games in. There's the kick.
No, we haven't seen the Nat challenge on the same.
Yeah. Jack Watts in the back pocket.
Now kick it backwards.
Goes down the line, goes for territory. March back, flies again. Maybe dragged down, playing the call. Melbourne hoping to lock it in. Core out the back, it's all Giants. Kennedy, the setup. There's no margin for error now. Shield delayed the handball. Scully needs the bounce on tired legs. What's Smith got for us? Goes short to Green. We know he's not a great kick. This could be his greatest challenge. Can he go back, the 22-year-old?
Has he got the distance there?
I reckon he's got the distance if it goes close to the near goal post. If it goes across the face to the other side, maybe not.
No, and that's where it's going. Can they drag a mark out of it? No, they can't. It's back to 8 points, and Melbourne would have to lose this from here rather than the Giants win it.
Surely you just got to kill them in it. Chip it around.
Salem. The crowd.
Jones breaks short.
Just holding their breath now, the Melbourne fans. Just desperately hoping this last minute 15 can pass. The Giants still trying to get it for one last hurrah. Shaw bombs away. Try marking that one. Stewart almost at the back. Pedersen did well. They've stood up magnificently, these Demons, and they're doing it again. Hurry kick forward, bunt time. There still could be time, but no, Nathan Jones. What a man, what a warrior. Holds on for the Demons. Sends it back to Jack Watts. They'll cheer every mark and every kick from now, the Melbourne fans. They can't believe what they've seen this last quarter. They've kicked 6 goals to 1. They've come from behind. They couldn't kick a goal for 2 quarters term. They produced 6 in this last term.
They couldn't kick a goal for 2 years,
Make that 10. But right now, they have produced an incredible quarter, and it could be the new Melbourne here. 24 seconds remaining. Melbourne fans, they come to the G hoping more than anything today, and now their beliefs will be growing that this young team can produce so much more than what they have. Here's Rory Lobb off the green. He scrambled a goal, and there's 11 seconds to go. There's time. 9 seconds now.
They're going to have to get a free kick out of centre bounds.
So there's not an interchange infraction.
There was that famous one last year against the Saints in the last centre clearance.
Yeah,
surely they will have learnt from that and take home a famous victory. Nobody in the forward half for Melbourne. They've learned a right turn.
So, and Stevie J sending more players down there so Melbourne don't get an easy intercept mark if the Giants clear it forward.
The last last 9 seconds.
It's got to be a clean hit. It's got to be a clean hit to a takeaway. Every Melbourne midfielder needs to play man on man.
All or nothing. It's the clearance, the clean getaway. Wilson's a big kick. Time for a mark. Time, or is there? There's the spoil. The siren sounds. Melbourne have done it. The Demons have come from nowhere to win this game. 6 goals in the last quarter. And the Melbourne fans will be walking on air tonight.
Still undefeated in 2016. 3 wins in the NAB Challenge. And they come to the MCG underdogs against a much more favoured GWS with so many young first-round draft picks in their side. And the Demons have produced one of the great last quarters.
Well, they have kicked. Well, they doubled their score in the last quarter. They were fantastic. Their clearance work in the last quarter. Their forward line cohesion in the last quarter was clearly, easily the best for the day. Even when they kicked that goal which Jack Watts spun out of the pack and gave it to Vandenberg, their cohesion up forward, it seemed to work for them where it had all been hard yards for day. This is on the siren.